What's this about?
Well, this is the thing we wrote when we were 19 years old or 18. I think we might have been 17.
So there's a lot of ticks and a lot of lines. What are you saying there?
Well, we put this on a wall with some missions and some goals, and then we did them all. So then we wrote some new ones. So the first mission was to rehearse with Champ. That's Will, of course. First gig, that was an important part of the list. Second gig, third gig, fourth gig. Hundreds of lists.
Yeah.
But this was our first one.
And first and arguably most important.
Well, reinvent the wheel in an emotional way.
Yes.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah.
It's quite a modest. We've got World Peace up there somewhere.
Well, it's either that or write 900th gig.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Let's go to Parachutes, your first album. The record company hoped that it might sell a few thousand. It ended up selling 2 million copies in a year. Now that must have taken you by the throat.
It did, yeah. But I suppose, the biggest reason that it did so well was a song called Yellow.
So I had that chord and I was like, oh, that's nice. So I was on that for a long time, just pounding that chord in Wales.
It's hard to remember exactly, but I think we really liked it. But I don't think we thought, wow, this is going to be the song that...
I can remember exactly what happened, man, because you were watching Tottenham play. I was just messing around. We'd just been standing outside. And then this chord change came, which I really loved. And then you go... And then you're like, oh, that's nice. And then the song starts to come out. So I ran through to their game and said, listen to this is incredible. And they were like, oh, good. So that's, that's all I had. Then the chorus came out 10 seconds later, and then it took us 8 months to record it. But we always believed that it would be the kind of access point to our band.
Why do you think it was such a success without being self-deprecating?
Well, I'm through with it. I can tell you're getting irritated.
Secondly, no, I'm not getting irritated at all.
It is irritating. Everyone, my parents, even my wife gets irritated by it. I can't help it.
So why do you think Yellow was so successful?
Well, it's fucking brilliant.
There you are. That's what you should say. Fine. Hi. You woke up to find yourselves famous. You also woke up to find yourself under public scrutiny, and you were accused of being polite and middle class. These terrible things. That was the beginning of it. Did you feel disadvantaged from doing what you were doing because of that?
We never did, and I don't think we ever will feel like a cool band. When we were sort of starting out as a band, it was much cooler if you come from art college.
In music, polite and middle class are like, it's like calling someone a fat bastard, It's rude.
I think there's something quite radical about Coldplay's good manners. And I don't think that's uncool. I think if you meet a filmmaker like Danny Boyle or Richard Curtis, and, really great artists, you expect them to be organised, you expect them to be thinking people, aware and awake to what's going on around them. But you don't want that in a rock and roll band. You want them to be asleep and, walking into walls. Why?
My dad tells a story that he was at a dinner and he said to someone next to him, one of my sons is a banker and the other one's an international rock star. And the guy next to him said, really? Which bank? And that's really the kind of place I come from, you know, it's not usual to throw away all that education money and take a risk on music, you know.
On gaps in the tour, the band come back to the studio to work on new material. One thing you seem to do is address your previous work and say, well, we can do better than that. But not only we can do better, but we want to move on from that, be different from that.
Well, we hired a teacher. We hired Brian Eno to come in and... I mean, this is the thing. We'd sold a lot of records and we could have easily said, OK, let's just keep doing that. But we invited him in and he doesn't care if you've sold one record or 100 million. He just, if he doesn't like something, he's very happy to tell you.
Tell me when you're ready on 7 and 8.
Brian Eno, he's, you know, the most extraordinary national treasure. And we used to say in U2, and I think it's true of Coldplay, that we didn't go to art school, we went to Brian. And I think they've learnt a lot from him. He's a mind-expanding drug, and I would watch this space because I think I saw them inhaling him.